At Ringside Renaissance, we don't bury talent. We are talent. We bury mediocrity.
It's in there. Ringside Renaissance is the main event. So Jesse, ring the bell. Start the show.
You are now listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
And we're back for another episode of Ringside Renaissance with the RRW Weekly Review for WWE Smackdown and Monday Night Raw. Yeah, and I'm here with the best co-host, the best tag team partner in the world, Pretty Deadly Jesse, a.k.a. Jestradamus. And I'm Andrew Kombat Jones. Cheer, click, clack.
Man, I'm telling you, bro, like that name is more and more fitting every week with the little audio clip you do. I mean, look at those guns you got over there, bro. Those things should be illegal in 12 states. Just saying.
Just 12, yeah.
Not the red states.
They're not illegal over by the Gulf of America.
Yeah, that's
says
right.
El Grande Americano. Yeah.
So disappointed we didn't get an appearance this week, man. I was,
No, just Chad Gable talking about it, but
I know.
What
a week of pro
come.
wrestling. What we need y'all to do is hit the like, the share, and the subscribe. It helps us out. Leave a comment. Tell us if we're doing well. Telling us if we're doing terrible. We like to hear it all. We'll probably delete your terrible comments. But thank you for following along with us. This is a great time. We are in WrestleMania season. We've been touting about it for weeks. Shout out to everybody that follows along with us on all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, X. Are we still on Discord?
Yeah, we got a Discord. I don't know
Okay.
if much is popping on there, but we got a Discord.
We don't go on there, but we have one.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for following along with us on YouTube, of course. We are almost at 20,000 subscribers. Tell your friends, when we reach 20,000, Andrew Kombat Jones will be eating the lollipop with the scorpion inside it. And if you don't know, he has a big, big, big phobia of insects. So maybe we should do that on our live pre-show of WrestleMania.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Well, speaking of the live show on WrestleMania, and, because people across the IWC, of course, have called us the bad boys or the Howard Stern show of wrestling podcasts, especially shout out back to like the 90s era of that type of thing. And we always speak about people coming on the show and riding a Sabian. So, and fittingly enough, through the depths of the dark web, somebody has reached out and kind of offered their services and
really
wants to be part of the WrestleMania pre-show Ringside Renaissance extravaganza.
Okay.
And I heard they're a big Cody fan. I heard they're a big Wyatt 6'6" freak fan.
Okay.
And she wants to ride the Sabian.
Okay.
Live on Ringside Renaissance WrestleMania pre-show. Live on the internet for everybody to see.
Tell your friends. That's awesome.
Yeah. Have to pull the old Howard Stern on the phone, and crank up the speaker, turn down the treble, and turn up the bass.
All right, tell your friends. We may blow up WrestleMania, or we may get kicked off from YouTube. Here we go.
Yeah, we may get canceled. Yeah.
All right.
We're going to try to figure it out to make it, somewhat respectable, of course.
Okay.
And hide the person's identity. I mean, they may be have an OnlyFans account. I don't know.
Okay.
They may not. but
I feel like you do. Okay, but okay.
yeah, well, they seem like they're pretty open to it, and yeah, we'll see what happens. We're gonna try our best to keep it as rated R for everybody.
R Ringside
Yeah.
Renaissance. Here we
Ringside Renaissance, yeah.
We're
exactly.
rated RR. Man, copyright.
But man, it's crazy. So yeah, it's a lot to be seen, a lot to be heard. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they show up and if they actually chicken out or wuss out, or if they've got the cojones or whatever you would want to call it.
I hope they don't. Yeah, but okay.
But man, wrestling, WWE is crazy right now. This last week we're in the dog days of WrestleMania sorta, and then again we got picked up with the last week and the last final 2 episodes that were overseas and of course in London. And shout out to everybody we know in London, of course, hitting the turnbuckle was there, Adam and all that, and everybody over in the UK and everybody over in England, and everybody over in Europe that were at the shows prior to that. But
all those places.
Yeah, so they finish off the shows, but man, it was a crazy couple shows. Like with both of them, they both had their moments, but the beginnings and the endings really started off with quite the bang. Like, what more can I say? I was blown away.
Yeah. I was blown during SmackDown and then blown away at Raw for different reasons. But like,
hey,
I just gotta say, like, there's a lot of things, and we'll get into it, and we'll probably just touch on like the main WrestleMania feud points moving forward. There's a lot of filler in these episodes and stuff.
Yeah,
and, we cover it every week, but let's just talk about like the big stuff leading into the big show, because we're all ready for WrestleMania. But like, man, oh man, I'm telling you, I mentioned it last week when Jimmy and Jay had their little like backstage talk and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all in now, but we'll talk about that later. But boy, oh boy,
with Cena and Cena and Cody too. We'll get into that also, which was amazing. Mm-hmm. And then we'll get into the CM Punk and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins stuff too. Like, we're gonna cover it all, cover all the big stuff, because we know that's what everybody wants to hear out there. So
let's get into it. SmackDown started off. Cody Rhodes came out, talking about John Cena. Randy Orton came out. Drew McIntyre came out. It was like this whole little scuffle. Now, this is my one thing that I got to say is Cody Rhodes is winning at WrestleMania, right? Because they're planting seeds and teasing like a Cody Randy Orton feud right now. Okay. And like, they've been doing it for a long time. Like, even back when Randy Orton and Cody were backstage, like, Randy would always be staring at the title, or like when he would like be like, "You're the man," he would tap the title and not Cody. And like, there's little subtle like drops that I've seen, but I think we need a Randy Orton Cody feud for the title. I think that makes a lot of sense. Drew McIntyre came out with his normal Scottish antics now, and shout out to all of our Scottish friends too. We have a lot of followers in Scotland, and what a great representation of Scotland you have with the Scottish Warrior.
He still got quite a reaction too for being over in obviously the UK and Scotland is connected, but he got a reaction. He did a great job of trying to brush it off too, but there's only so much you can do. And these UK crowds and these European crowds were crazy as far as chanting the names and all that, but we'll get to it when we get to it. God damn.
There's a lot of like discourse online, people saying like they weren't fans of it, and I can't even hear the promos because the fans are cheering. And it's like, so you don't want the fans to be electric, you want them just to sit in their hands the whole time. Like, I personally enjoy it. I love the chants. I love it, but I think they should do it as we do it in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America, and just say what over and over again.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know.
Just say what?
They make us look like a bunch. They just feed into the stupid American stereotypes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we feed into that stupid American stereotype too whenever we're on microphones. So fair enough. Okay. Yeah. That set up Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton later on down the show. I gotta say, we're pumped for wrestling. There's been a grave injustice in pro wrestling this past week.
It was a letdown, to say the least.
This is probably the most disappointing thing that's been in pro wrestling since AEW started doing their since they jumped the shark.
Man,
we had it. You had it right there. Like,
yeah.
The greatest tag team of a generation, Pretty Deadly, going for the tag team titles against the Street Profits in London.
Yep.
It was there. Like, the whole setup was there. They came out in the UK flag or the British flag attires, and like it was just there. Like, the crowd was into it. The crowd was hot. They were pumping. Yeah. Man, oh man, if Triple H has ever fumbled anything, well, no, I gotta say this because wrestling's real, right? So
yes,
Pretty Deadly just didn't get the job done.
No,
I think the lights were a little too bright for them, being in their hometown, and
they got caught up in the emotion of the moment of having their fans there and everybody behind them, and the Street Profits. You know, they kind of got this new look going, and they're a little more savage right now, and they came out with some extra fire because this was like their first somewhat real title defense, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and like they say, you don't really earn that title until you defend it the first time, and you know, you're not really a champion. So they earned it, unfortunately.
Pretty Deadly will be back, though. Like, I think we're in agreement. Like, I think they're going to go back. They're going to regroup. They're going to come back stronger. And those straps will be around their waist. And that crop top will be on my body by the end of this year.
Yeah, Pretty Deadly also was on NXT last night with Hank and Tank. And they had Hank and Tank in the crop tops. And we're giving them advice and all that. So this will not be the last we've seen them. Pretty Deadly. They're on their way to the top still, and they're popping. They're everywhere, giving advice, doing their thing, and it's only just begun.
They will be back. You know, it's always darkest before the dawn, and you know, you don't ever lose. You either win or you learn, and I think they learned a valuable lesson here, and I think they will be on top. Those tasty snacks with those tag titles, and I will be in a crop top before the end of the year.
We need that.
I don't know if we need that.
The IWC needs that.
It
will live forever. You will be immortalized.
Oh man, it's gonna be. I gotta. It's gonna be full send if I do it. So, LA Knight defended his U.S. title against Braun Strowman. Ended in a DQ. The Bloodline. I feel like, and I've said this for a few weeks, they're kind of building up multi-man matches for both the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. It just kind of seems like that's what's going on. There's a lot of dissension between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa right now. All I know from all of this is that Tonga Loa needs to come back and reunite this group.
Bring some solidarity.
Force.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if not, it's I'm all gas. No breaks. Yeah. If you ain't going to get the job done, I'll do it. Man. Or whatever he said.
It just seems like if you look back, ever since the War Games match where Tonga Loa got hurt, that's when they started kind of falling from grace. And it's because he hasn't been by their side. I mean, you can draw parallels anywhere, but that's exactly what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, because Jacob Fatu looked at Tama Tonga, and then he looked at Solo Sikoa, and he's like, if you ain't going to help, if you ain't going to do it, I'm going to have to do it by myself. Solo kind of falling in line, though. They didn't have much to say. They kind of know not to. Solo ain't pulling that crap no more with Fatu, trying to keep him in line and tell him he better acknowledge him. You know, he doesn't really have any leg to stand on. You know, at this point, you know,
and he doesn't have the Ufalafa anymore. So like, he doesn't really have the.
Yeah,
that was kind of like the power move there, and nobody has it anymore apparently because it's
kickstand. That third leg is not fluffed anymore. So he's for that Samoan spike. He's Jacob Fatu is
You think that's his move in the bed? He just tells I'm going to give you the Samoan spike.
Yeah. Imagine the promo Jacob Fatu cuts like on a first date or something to seal the deal.
I love you.
I'm all gas, no brakes, baby.
That's
Straight to the bed. Yeah.
That's so good.
Waiter,
Even think
check.
about that.
Yeah.
And Tamatonga comes in and yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a whole thing.
That thing want to beat down.
Okay. Let us know in the comments if you've ever had a beatdown from Jacob Fatu.
Would that work?
Charlotte Flair defeated Michin. This is setting up Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair. Naomi came out and attacked Michin before the match. Jade Cargill chased her off.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton at all. And now Michin's becoming collateral damage for it.
Yeah, and B-Fab was, obviously we talked about it in the previous episodes, how much of a star she looked like in the European shows. And I was surprised with her because we haven't seen her in the ring much at all. So shout out to her too, and then having Michin's back this time. And then they tried to give Tiffany Stratton a rebuttal of some sorts backstage without having Charlotte interfere. So she was really protected, Yeah. And it I'm not going to say it didn't hit or it wasn't decent, but you're going to have to bring your A game to Charlotte at WrestleMania. That's all I'm going to say, or figure out your promo skills or whatever. But, man, I don't know. Maybe they're going to surprise us. Like I said, maybe Tiffany Stratton is going to pull the figure 4, figure 8 perfect leg lock on Charlotte and make her tap out at WrestleMania and dig deep. If not, she's just getting completely buried. That's all I know.
It's got to be some title changes at WrestleMania, right? So
yeah, it might be a redemption story coming on later down the line for her too. So she might have to lose.
The way they're booking, I don't know if people are even going to want it at that point. But
yeah,
I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I mean,
Oh yeah. Michin did her best. She did what she could.
I'm a Michin fan. I like Michin. I'm really don't see anything wrong with her. I don't know what the disconnect is. I think with women's wrestling, if you're not being pushed, you're not really getting over. And she might just be okay with just her role of what she's doing, and that's fine too. But
I respect it. Yeah. She's good in the ring. Obviously, they got the confidence in her to put her out there all the time, like they do.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's to be buried or do a street fight against Cactus, Chelsea Green, Jack.
There you go.
Yeah.
Took you a while to come up with that one, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been waiting. Yeah. Next, ooh, baby.
Oh, okay. So yeah, well. We had Drew McIntyre against Randy Orton, which was interesting because they're both trying to get a solid kind of footing going into WrestleMania. Each one of them probably needed a big win right now, and but with how it unfolded, Kevin Owens came out, distracted Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre got the Claymore and
the Claymore, yeah,
the Claymore.
Put him down, huh? Yeah, I'm surprised Randy took the pin like that, but it had to happen. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Drew McIntyre.
He's on
DM hunk.
DM hunk. Yeah. Yeah.
If listen.
Yeah.
If he ever advanced on me, I would just say I wouldn't even resist at this point.
No.
No. The way his sweat glistens off his chest hair and stuff is just,
he's got it too, obviously. The way he is on social media too, and his Twitter fingers are savage, so I'm sure he's well rounded in all ways,
You think so?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. His confidence is there. But
whatever happened to that big sword he used to carry around everywhere?
Oof.
Remember he had that big Claymore?
Yeah, he had the big sword. Yeah. I don't know.
He still got it in his pants, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean in the tights. Yeah, that's where he keeps it. Yeah. That's where it went.
Sheathed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Team Orton, you're Team KO. I understand all this, but I gotta ask: are you Team Drew or Team DP here? Because we're big fans of the DP. If you're just first now watching this show, you'll know that Combat Jones and I Google DP a lot because we're very big fans. But like, Drew McIntyre is just, man, I don't know. He's on another level.
Down the DP. Yeah, I don't know if Damian Priest can overcome that, literally. And as far as WrestleMania last year, we're almost at the anniversary of what happened with Drew winning the title from Seth, and then the DP coming down the aisle and getting the help from some CM Punk and ending DM Hunk's 5-minute world championship reign.
And on that note, a lot of people that are saying that this match doesn't make sense, or like, why are they putting Drew in this match at WrestleMania? Like, it's the story's there.
Right.
Damian Priest screwed over Drew McIntyre last year at WrestleMania and took the title from him. Like,
yes,
that story is there. I mean,
Money in the Bank, and he got a quick one out of him too. He got an easy one on him. He got over on him with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Punk had already hit him with the arm brace, and everything, and took him out. He was easy pickings for him. So
yeah,
Drew's got some reason to come after him. It's valid. Yeah,
got a few quarrels there.
Oh, we got to talk about the proceed with caution. You didn't like this? Okay, because I loved it. I thought I was watching like a Jordan Peele horror movie preview almost, or something, with how they built it up. I was like watching a preview for a horror movie with Naomi again, shedding tears. I wonder if those tears were real, or if they cut away and they kind of gave her the little Visine bottle or something. But she looks deranged. She got the whole look going with the caution tape everywhere. I kind of like it. And she's coming after Jade, and Jade may be underestimating Naomi a little bit too, I think. Even though Jade can probably manhandle Naomi in the ring, Naomi can probably wrestle circles around Jade in reality too.
Okay.
So it's kind of like an even matchup. We kind of don't know where it's going to go. And at this point, Naomi is kind of that woman scorned, and that's one thing you do not want to mess with. And Jade might be underestimating it. And then 5 minutes later, what we got going on, Naomi down in the ring, and then Jade coming for her. And Naomi kind of gets the best of it too, somewhat, a little bit. And I don't know.
I am just blown away by your constant need to like side with like the bad guy in all of this, because how in any way is Naomi the woman scorned? Jade got taken out by Naomi for no reason.
She gave her reasons though. So in her mind, she's scorned. Okay. She's justified in her own mind, and that's what makes it work. She may be delusional, but to her perception, Jade came in and took everything from her. Okay. And then she earned that spot with Bianca. So putting myself in her position, I could see why she would do something like that. And she's kind of just pulled this whole turn thing now, and she just looked totally different. Like she got a different look in her eye. She's just.
So if we're playing make believe, I got a big dong in my mind, so that's justified now. So like, let's
whose is it?
Did you ever notice how Naomi looks like? Remember when DX did the parody of Nation of Domination, and the guy came out as Owen Hart and all the caution tape? Like that's what that reminds me of. I cannot get that out of my head. The guy with the fake nose and the caution tape all over him. And it's like, you should have picked something a little bit different. Because every time she comes out, that's all I think about. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Like, oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Do not go back and watch that promo if you haven't, because there's a lot of stuff that didn't really age well. But
yeah. They showed a brief part of it in the Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix. They showed a quick flash of it. Yeah.
I'm sure X-Pac is a little bit regretting.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't catch much flack for it. You don't really hear about it, but if anybody's making it right, it's Naomi now, and taking it and turning it into something different. But I like the new look. I like the idea of it, and I think it kind of puts her on an even level playing field with Jade going forward. And Jade looks stacked too, obviously, and I think she's done so much. She's been great since she's came back too. Yeah. It's just
I love how she just comes out to get her revenge on
Naomi. She's got to do it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, every time. It's awesome. Yeah. It's almost like the old SmackDown games. If you keep using your taunt, your special fills up quicker. Like
keep pressing up, keep pressing directional up. Yeah.
All right, now can we go to the car?
Ooh.
Because I gotta ask if you think this was intentional or not. Because
of course it was intentional.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I mean, I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so DP does the South of Heaven to Drew McIntyre on the windshield of the car as CM Punk's walking by.
Yes.
And CM Punk just kind of looks over and shakes his head and laughs and just keeps walking.
Yeah. Wonder if that was real glass.
And they were in London where that happened.
Yes.
And we have more layers of this because Drew McIntyre got the picture with Jack Perry and he's the one getting put through the windshield. So remember the whole thing.
What is going on here? And then like the week before we get the mention about working with children and stuff like that, and little stuff here and there. And then we got another layer to it, which doesn't really make much sense, but does. But on Ariel Helwani, it's been pretty much like a year that CM Punk did that interview and talked about everything. And then we get Bret Hart on it a year to the day, the other day or yesterday or whatever. Like, what is going on here? There's so much, like, the timing is just crazy. It's impeccable. It's awesome.
We haven't seen the scapegoat in AEW in quite a while. Everybody was like, oh, he's pushed to the moon. He's the biggest star. And like, we haven't seen him in months.
They took off. Yeah.
Are we going to see a scapegoat premiering in WWE?
Oh, Lord.
Is this all that? Are they leaving breadcrumbs like?
I hope not. You know, honestly, I wouldn't be mad at it if he did. If they're able to settle their differences, listen, if Punk can settle his differences with Triple H and everybody and whoever and come back to WWE, is it possible he can do it with anybody else? Maybe, I don't know if enough time has gone on for Jack Perry to grow up enough yet, though. But maybe he just got the slapped out of him a couple more times and, maybe he's good now. I don't know. But the windshield spot was perfect. It was so funny. And I don't know how many people got it. Some did. But the way Punk just kind of looks over and chuckles and laughs and then keeps walking like, weird, interesting, what a coincidence.
And Drew McIntyre said something.
And it's true.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre said something on X about it was real glass. I got some in my eye or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you were talking about Punk settling
probably
his
a rental
differences.
car, though.
I'll tell you 2 people that Punk hasn't settled his differences with is Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, because we got the contract signing in the ring.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, it was well done. And people that are there's like, I wish I remember this guy's Twitter name because I would shout him out and tell him he's a moron. But like, there's this guy on Twitter saying that like, oh, this is just a consolation prize for CM Punk. He's not getting a main event. This isn't a main event. It's just thrown together. It's like, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have been the 2 biggest and most consistent stars in WWE in the last 10 years. Like, and he's getting a main event at WrestleMania against both of them. How is this just I just disagree with that completely. I think this is one of probably the biggest matches in WrestleMania in recent memory. Like, as far as star power goes, I mean,
I don't think there has to be a title with it. I think the favor is still awesome. That has to do with it, everything, leading into it. The way they've built it up is great, and then looking back to last year of what happened at WrestleMania, and you said it's the 3 biggest stars, like all the stories align, the stars align. Like, come on. If it wasn't John Cena and Cody, like, if John Cena wasn't part of the Cody thing, this match would probably be night 2 even.
Yeah.
They still haven't technically said what night is what event, I don't think.
No.
But it's the main event, which we'll get to. It's crazy. Man, what ruthless it was. It was insane. I love it.
Do you think that they, because they were signing the contract for the match at WrestleMania, do you think that Punk knew beforehand that they were going to consider a main event of a night? Or do you think that was like naturally in the ring? Because when they opened and signed the contract and Paul said it to him and was holding him and said,
right,
your dream has come true, you're now a WrestleMania main eventer, CM Punk started tearing up and shit. And like him and Paul both started tearing up. And I think that was kind of just, I don't think that was known backstage. I think Paul Heyman came out and told him that Raw in the ring.
Really?
And I think because of the emotion behind it, like when he was holding Punk's shoulder and he said it and they both just started tearing up together, it was like, it was almost like it was like natural in that moment.
Regardless or not, some people may say it's scripted. I say it's a bunch of, I don't know, but if it wasn't, I think that they either way they could have known about it and then still had that moment in front of everybody and kind of took it all in and let that emotion come out. Okay. Even if it wasn't, planned or whatever. But the way they did it was perfect. Roman comes out acting like he's doing everybody a favor. The crowd is singing his name. He gets Paul Heyman to sing his name too, which is kind of funny. And how'd you feel about that?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
I'm just ready for the match. I'm ready for it to
then
happen.
You get hit with the whoa, the worst theme song in WWE right now. The worst.
You think?
Yes.
Oh.
Seth Freaky Rollins, which comes out in an actual nice suit. I give him the suit. I'll give him credit. That's the suit KJ Combat Jones would rock. I would rock the black and red suit. I liked it. It was nice. He wasn't dressing like a circus freak this time, or like Grimace, or like a red oven mitt from being cooked.
I'm not a big fan of contract signing, so this whole thing was kind of just.
Well, it didn't turn into something else like confrontation like it normally does. I'll say that. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. It depends kind of what we're doing, and I think a lot of times CM Punk contract signings end up being pretty damn good. I don't know, but maybe I'm biased.
I like how they had Roman Reigns positioned at the head of the table for it, and
yes,
where he, it was just the whole thing was just well done. But
Seth talking about, you're letting this outsider in, like you're being blinded by everything, by this favor, by Paul, and blaming everything on Paul Heyman, telling him it's his fault. And Paul's like, why is it what am I doing here? Like, you're the one that's Seth saying he's trying to end Punk, and Roman had to come in and screw that up and that he's always got to clean up Roman's mess, and it's been like that since the beginning, and that's why he's had to do what he's had to do multiple times by stabbing Roman in the back, which is, a bunch of bullshit. But
I like how he's trying to get Roman on his side, where his mission for the past year has been to take out Roman. Now all of a sudden, and he wouldn't team with Roman at War Games because he hates his guts, but now he wants Roman on his side.
And you had to shake Punk's hand and ask him for help. Yeah, so like, and so then we get the Punk, and the crowd goes crazy with the CM Punk chants, and wow. He gets out there and he starts, thumbing through the contract, and Roman Reigns, you need a highlighter or something, and Seth Rollins is just losing it the whole time, man. Like,
Did he sit down the whole time? He was like standing up, just being.
No, I don't think Seth sat. No, he was just losing it the whole time. And Punk's looking through the contract. You can tell he's looking for something. We knew what he was probably looking for. And Paul kind of, Paul Heyman is so great with what he does, with just his little gestures, and he's so animated in a way, and every little thing he does is calculated, right? And he's kind of looking over at Punk, and he goes over to Punk, and he's like, I know what you're looking for. It's in there. You're closing the show. CM Punk is going to be a WrestleMania main eventer. Crazy.
It doesn't need the title. I hope CM Punk never wins a title in this last run.
Oh, shut up.
No, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm not saying it in a bad way. Dude, Roddy Piper was in WWE for WWF, WWE, back and forth for 30 years. Mm-hmm. He won one Intercontinental title and one tag team title when he was like 60. Yeah. Like, he didn't need a title. Punk does not need a title. Like, he doesn't need the belt. He is larger than life without it, Right. And I think he understands that there's a lot of like up and comers that really deserve the spot and whatever. And he's got his spot, and I think he's okay with it.
I could see that coming.
I wouldn't hate it if he wins one.
Right.
Like, right. I'm not going to be like, oh, he should never win one. But if he doesn't, I wouldn't be disappointed.
Well, didn't I say if he wins the title, I'm getting the tattoo?
Oh, please, Punk win a title. That's right.
Exactly. So it's got to happen. I mean, I'm sure it'll happen regardless either way.
I like how you're just like decorating your back. It's just the background.
It's becoming.
It's just all CM Punk.
Shrine.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the backdrop. Like, I have the Roddy Piper one, a view of just like a dong shot of CM Punk in his trunks.
Sooner or later, that's what it's going to be. Yeah. I'm slowly building a shrine for CM Punk for him to win the title, because all the bad juju I had, in the past of going to see events, and somehow he always ends up not being there, getting hurt every time I buy the ticket afterwards. So it's changed though. It's shifted because I went to MSG and I saw him there, right? So things are picking up. They're moving in a positive direction now. We got the belt, we got the spinner, the autograph spinner belt, we got the autograph picture. We got the Money in the Bank. We're putting the good vibes and positive stuff out there in the atmosphere. So for WrestleMania and moving forward, Punk is going to win a championship. During the whole thing, Roman Reigns puts his feet up on the table, and he's just like, I love it. He's doing his whole thing, and he wants to take credit for everything. Roman Reigns' ego is playing a huge part in all this on his side. There's three sides to this whole thing as far as I'm looking at it as. Obviously, the triple threat, literally, yep. Right? Okay. But three different personalities, three different ways that it's going. And what Roman Reigns is saying, check the whole time. That's his whole thing, right? One man's dream is another man's favor, as he puts it. And then Seth Rollins just loses his mind. He just can't take it anymore. And Roman wants Punk to acknowledge him for the favor. And he gets down on his leg, and he starts being, I acknowledge you, tribal chief, my tribal queef, the head of the table, the big dog.
Oh, yeah.
And Roman's kind of, oh, shit. And then you hear Punk start to go on, oh, thank you so much for allowing me to be in your ring and grace your presence. And you could just tell it's turning into sarcasm now. A kid from Chicago, but thank you, because I will be seeing you at the main event of WrestleMania. And Seth just losing it. So Seth, is his emotions, his side of it is just complete hatred, and he's just gone, right? Punk's side of it is grateful, and that's his dream. And Roman's side of it is just arrogance and ego. So how will those three things intertwine and play into the story in the storyline of the match in WrestleMania. We will see. And then at the end, Punk says, oh, and by the way, that's not the favor. Mic drop. So now everybody's like, oh, shit. What is going on now? Like, where can this match even go? I don't know. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to guess or predict. Or we got more time before WrestleMania coming, to see what these promos lead to see what happens. Obviously, you, Jestradamus, predicted that Paul Heyman might turn on everybody else and turn on Roman and turn on Punk and leave with Seth Rollins. I don't know. I think the favor might come on later on down the road. Some people are saying the favor might be CM Punk interjects himself into night 2 with Cody Rhodes and John Cena. I think that's quite a far stretch. I think maybe it more leans towards like SummerSlam or world title shot or a Money in the Bank type of situation going on later in the line. I hope it's not just for like Paul Heyman to be on his side. If it is, I hope it's to lead towards those things, though, for a title shot, which he ends up winning.
Yeah.
Preferably against John Cena.
Yeah, Paul's going to leave with
Bank.
Rollins, and then he's going to align himself with somebody, and then Punk's going to have to go to Roman for the favor to help him out. And it's going to shift to Punk asking Roman for a favor instead of asking Paul for a favor.
Oh, okay.
Just fantasy booking way ahead of time.
Wow, okay. Way ahead of time. I hope not, but we'll see.
Well, let's go ahead of time from Friday Night SmackDown and cruise our way on over.
While we go forward, we're also going to move backwards into the past, into the 90s, the greatest era of all, the Attitude Era.
Willie Styles all in it, getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. What? You on the ball with your kid? Watch your step, you might fall trying to do what I did. Mama,
Yeah. Bringing it back.
Oh, man, listen.
Getting jiggy with it. That's the original. That's the original cassette tape from the 90s.
On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor, go. I go, you go. I go psycho with my new joint hit. Ooh!
You know what the B-side of the tape is? It's the Men in Black theme song. Like, come on. How raw is that?
I'm going to tell you how raw it is. We're going to try to top that. We know we can't, but
damn.
Shout out Chris Rock. But what we're going to do is we're going to cruise on over to Monday Night Raw. Oh, by the way, we're going to say we're almost at a year of being on the podcast, too. I didn't even think about that.
I think we are pretty much.
The week before WrestleMania last year. Yeah, it was.
That's true.
Started,
okay. So. That'll be our special 1-year anniversary episode. We'll just go put it out there now. Our last leading into, that'll be it.
We'll have to buy a balloon.
It'll be special.
Yes. So you're going to have a girl ride a Sabian. I'm sure it's going to be special. So,
well, that's for the pre-show. The episode, the prediction episode, of course, is going to be a very special episode. And then, our leading up episode can be our anniversary episode, if you will.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Monday Night Raw started out with John Cena coming out to the ring. I'm getting tired of this every single week. John Cena just like the entrances for Monday Night Raw, and then it just quiet and like they pan the crowd for 30 seconds, and then John Cena's music hits. It's like everybody knows what's coming. Like,
right.
John Cena comes out to the ring, Cody Rhodes comes out to the ring, and they had like an underground, an underground Detroit rap battle here.
Cody Rhodes kind of went first and tried pulling the Eminem 8 Mile.
I am white. I am a bum. I do live in a trailer with my mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody
shot
about
himself
me.
In the leg.
Yeah, now tell something. Now tell people something that they don't know. Yeah. Pretty much talked about his lisp, talked about his tattoo.
Oh, Cody has a lisp. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess I have a lisp. They said shouldn't say the word Stardust. Yeah.
How do you feel, John Cena? You're fighting Stardust at WrestleMania.
How does that make you feel? Yeah, it talks about his tattoo. He's got a tattoo that should be on his arm. That's on his neck. You know,
It shouldn't be anywhere on him, probably.
probably shouldn't be anywhere. Yeah. Oof. They brought
John
some heat.
Cena.
We finally got what we wanted as far as John Cena going at Cody.
Yeah.
Because as he said it, Cody's been protected this whole time, and that ends now. Yeah.
You as the WWE champion makes me
sick. Yeah. He said,
but then
I'm not gonna cook you. I'm gonna bury you. And I'm talent. I don't bury talent. I bury mediocrity.
Do you think it's funny how John Cena helped Cody win the title last year at WrestleMania, but him having the title makes him sick this year?
He hates it now. Yeah, it kind of is a hypocrite. It kind of is a hypocritical. Kind of doesn't make sense, I guess, when you look back at it to then. Yeah. But maybe it's because of the way, like John Cena says, the crowd's embraced him, and maybe he's kind of noticed things over time now about, he brings up about his song and how everybody's just so easily blinded by it. And it's funny that he called, "You're just my chauffeur."
Mm-hmm. And Cody said, "You have more dick in your promos than in your jorts." I said, "That's
your
a good
jorts."
one.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a good one.
And John Cena called Cody a sociopathic nepo baby.
I'll tell you this, John Cena, and my whole career, I've never had someone chant at me, "You can't wrestle." That was the mic
good.
drop moment. Yeah,
that was the mic drop. Yeah, even though I felt it was pretty much an even sparring match of war of words, if you will. If you look at it as a rap battle, I feel like it was pretty even. Like Cody may have got the last laugh with all that, but John Cena landed some blows, I thought.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And Cody definitely looked pretty unbothered by most of it too. I'll give him credit there. Like he definitely held his own,
Mm-hmm.
And then when he said, "I'm gonna punch a hole through all the logic and everything you just said to me right now, and I'm gonna ask you and everybody one question: Who sold their soul to The Rock? Was it me or you?"
Mm-hmm.
And what can you say there? What can you say?
Nothing. The only thing I figured you would have a problem with this is John Cena was going on about how nobody could touch him on the mic anytime. Oh, everybody came out and took their best shot and nobody could touch me on the mic. And I'm like, Combat Jones is saying CM Punk under his breath right now about 400 times because
you're the New York Yankees, John Cena.
The New York Nazis, I got you.
Yeah.
At least they can
Bronx
have beards
Bombers
now.
doing the bombing, baby. Let's go.
There we go.
Let's go.
At least they can wear
New
beards
York
now. Yeah, it's exciting.
New York, baby.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty even. At the end, they finally got to touch a little bit. John Cena tried to go for a cheap shot in Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes got the crossroads, and John Cena laid like he got hit by a semi.
Yeah. Just laid out. Yeah, I kind of didn't like how he sold it so much. Because you're going to have to take like 2 or 3 of them to get put down at WrestleMania. So if one is putting you down now, you better get in the gym and start training.
And grab your head or something, dude.
You're going to have to do some head exercises or something.
So he was laid out. Listen. I've seen that look in my bed after, that's how I lay him out. You hear what I'm saying? But
I put him to sleep. Go to sleep. That's that's my favorite move is the GTS. It works every time.
Mine is the spray and pray.
Man, I loved it though. I thought it was great. I thought it was a good moment. Leading up, we had the promos with them leading up, mostly just John Cena talking. And he kind of explained everything and put it out this time. And looking back at the other ones, it had to be done. And I think probably the reason why they did it is because they were in Europe, and it was a way for them to get from one show to the next and kind of build it up along the way to where they're going to end up now, which will be in the United States. And
I don't know if Cena's going to show up for the next couple weeks before WrestleMania because he was filming a show over there overseas somewhere. That's probably why he was able to, or filming a movie or something in like Africa or something, wasn't he? So like he was able.
Or was in Belgium or over in Europe.
Oh, okay.
It was in Europe, yeah. But
just take.
I don't know what movie either.
Just take Pat McAfee's plane because he can go over there, do a show,
can go
and fly
wherever
back
he
over
wants.
and not misses. not miss his show. Shout out Pat McAfee for your commitment, man. I'm
But-
blown away by that. How that dude flies over there, does his thing, and then comes back and just is on his show. Like,
it's crazy.
blows
Yeah.
my mind, man. Blows my
But
mind. Like,
John Cena got to get his shit together because it's WrestleMania season. And which was also good about the promo is that Cody, well, Cena didn't say the words, but Cody brought up The Rock again. He brought up Dwayne. Not again. This is the first time during the whole thing since what happened at the end of the Royal Rumble. Or at Elimination Chamber. Sorry. Tied into the Royal Rumble, but since Elimination Chamber, yeah. So are we going to get... Everybody was saying The Rock was going to show up. I don't know why it was like a big rumor that The Rock was going to show up in London for the end of that episode there. I don't know. I didn't see anything confirming it or any reason why. They just assumed it was going to happen, maybe because it was London. I don't know. Will we get The Rock showing up before WrestleMania? I don't know. Maybe if John Cena can't show up and The Rock will to kind of take his place to get us there and the story moving forward towards WrestleMania is a way of doing it, technically, but I don't know. Maybe he's not going to show up till the end of the match in the main event.
he's going to show up after Cody wins. Cody's going to win. The Rock's going to come out and then put the 1 up. Now he's down to the 1.
Yeah.
It's just setting up Cody and Rock at Mania next year. That's all it is. The Rock's the final boss. He's going to be the final test of Cody Rhodes as champion. The final boss.
Yeah.
I don't see how any other way this is played out makes any sense except for The Rock being the final test for Cody, the final boss.
And there's no connection with the final boss of The Rock and Roman Reigns anymore, the bloodline. That's all gone out the window as far as that storyline. It's like he don't even care about that anymore. He only cares about getting somebody to sell their soul, and he got John Cena. And
he got that boy's soul, yeah.
Yeah, who knows after John Cena leaves whose soul will be next for the taking, but I don't know.
We shall see. A couple little points.
Yeah.
New Day defeated a returning New Catch Republic. Yeah, whatever. I'm not.
They got their flowers for being in the UK, which was cool. Coming out and doing their thing. But the New Day finally got a win, being the heels that they are. Is it going to mean much going into WrestleMania? Will they have a match? I don't know, unless there's like a six team tag team, ladder match again, or something. I don't know.
Pre-show. Jimmy and Jay were backstage, and Jimmy said he was going to go out there and prove that Gunther is beatable, and he's going to do this for Jay. And Jay says, "I hear you. Just be careful, But Jay, but I took this as a different way because remember last week Jimmy said that we need the right hand man, Jay. We need him. And then when Jimmy was saying all this stuff, Jay just stopped him and said, "I hear you." Like, I think like Jay is hearing Jimmy like, "Hey, we need the right hand man." Like, that's what I took that as. And this transformation into Jay being he's going to be a ruthless MFer, ruthless goose at
ruthless
WrestleMania. There you go. Which this led into Gunther versus Jimmy Uso, which I think this wasn't meant to be anything else than to push this forward.
Yeah, when he told him, you better be careful, and he looked like really genuinely like, dude, be careful with Gunther. I was like, oh man, something's about to happen.
And
something about to be crazy. I was like, you're going to get beat down. But it was much, much worse and crazier than I thought it was going to be. So
yes, this was intense.
Props to WWE, props to Gunther, props to Jimmy, props to Jay of the way they did this all. It's just great.
Yeah.
Great.
And this was intense because you can just talk about the match, but the post-match, Gunther was beating down Jimmy. Jay comes out for the save. Gunther runs away. They go to a commercial break in the United States, come back from the commercial break, and this is when Gunther jumped them both, started beating up security guards. He took the zip ties out of the security guard's pocket, zip tied Jay to the ring, to the ropes, started just ruthlessly beating Jimmy Uso, hit him in the head with the belt. He came back in juiced up. I haven't seen somebody like juiced like that in a while. I mean,
Jimmy was bleeding.
Yeah, probably since Drew in Hell in a Cell. That was a
yes, that was a Crimson Mask. Jimmy had it going, and it fit his outfit. The bloodline.
Yeah. And Gunther was rubbing the blood all over him, taunting Jay, just putting Jimmy just out of Jay's reach and coming back, putting the sleeper on him.
Yep.
What
power bomb after power bomb. Yeah. What is Jay gonna do now? I was almost hoping Jay's gonna break out of those zip ties. You know, it almost seemed like, but he just had to sit there and take it and watch it. And like you said, is this gonna turn? If there's anything that will turn Jay into being that ruthless right hand savage, even more than we've seen in the past, it's got to be this. And if that don't do it, ain't nothing gonna do it. So, man,
what a scene though! Like,
yeah,
if you've never watched pro wrestling before, and someone just gives you the quick rundown, and they see a twin brother, a brother, anything tied up, and watching their other brother just get mauled and bleeding, and you can't do anything about it. And Jay's expressions and yelling and screaming and trying to break it, and he can't break it, and like, boy, oh boy, that.
And the psychology of it and almost the karma of it, of the things that they did as the bloodline to other people to help Roman too, ties into it almost in a way, because now he's empathizing and he's seeing what they've been through and they've gone through and the things that they did to help somebody else that doesn't give a damn about them almost in some ways, that just kind of has left them out to dry, even at this point, even after they got back together. But to be in that position from somebody else that has the upper hand on them. Ooh, so
what
good.
What a great point. What a great point. And like, it just, this whole segment, I'm still invested in the match anyway. I know a lot of people are out on it, and I refuse to sit there and acknowledge the IWC anymore because they're a bunch of idiots. Like, we have people within them that we enjoy or whatever, but I refuse to even say I'm a part of that. Like, we're our own thing.
That they know anything.
Whole scenery, like I said, the scenery of Jimmy just bloody and Gunther standing up and rubbing the blood all over him and stuff. Like, if you're not invested in this match, then you're just a hater to be a hater at this point. Like, that is.
And everybody talking smack about it, that it's not going to be the main event. Who cares? That belt didn't have the main event last year either. It doesn't make it any less established or certified or anything. Jay still won the Royal Rumble. Like, that's still down in history. Jay won the Royal Rumble. He's still the main event. Like, he's had main events. Like, you can't take that from him. And the belt is still the belt, and Gunther is still Gunther. And Jay is going to be on a different level now, like where he's going to go with everything from this moment forward, and all of that, and all he's been put through, and the anguish from Gunther towards Jimmy. Like, it's just beautiful. It's great. Yeah.
It's great.
Jimmy could have used Naomi coming out, freaking out a little bit too.
It's funny when Naomi's good, Jimmy's bad. When Jimmy's good, Naomi's bad.
That's true. That's true.
So we had a tag team match. Braun Breaker and Penta lost to Finn and Dom, and that's setting up, like I mentioned, like a multi-man intercontinental match, I think, going towards WrestleMania. Hopefully we see Dom win the IC title there.
It was good that Penta took the pin too, and not Braun. I feel like also.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah. Being the
and then we had
Logan Paul, Logan
Paul and AJ Styles, which was really good. I think like the back and forth on the microphone was kind of bad, but
I feel like Logan at this point, I don't know if he seems like he's kind of like overthinking it and like almost trying a little too hard to be the heel rather than just be himself, which people dislike enough anyways. You know what I'm saying? But it was still good. You know, I'm still interested to see them fight because AJ Styles is great, and you know he's going to bring the best. They're going to bring the best out of each other. We all know Logan Paul is great in the ring, regardless of how he got there. He's athletic. He knows how to do his thing. As far as the mic goes, AJ Styles is great, but Logan Paul, it seems a little forced, like he's trying a little too hard, maybe in his head, overthinking it. Maybe it has to do with the UK crowd being a little different and how he responds, but we'll see. He's getting there. Either way, it's gonna be a good event.
And that finisher that he does, that move that he did on AJ Styles was awesome.
I liked
it. Only few wrestlers like AJ Styles would be able to take that and pull it off and make it look so good.
Okay.
Like, not every wrestler is going to take that and make it look as good as AJ Styles makes that look. Like,
he's not going to do that to Braun Strowman.
No. Nor should he. But.
Yeah. We don't want that.
But
it was good. I like that. I like the finisher, whatever they called it, the pollinator. No,
I don't even know. But on to the main event. It was the women's world title. It was Iyo Sky defending against Rhea Ripley with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee. There's a lot of discourse online of people booing Bianca. I didn't see that at all. They booed her because of the finish, but I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into all that. But the match itself, I wasn't a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of this whole feud or this build at all. Like, I'm just not.
I was kind of into it at first when they did their first promo or two, when they're kind of pushing Iyo away, and then they did it again, and then again, it seemed like, and then like they just had to do this match just to set it up to. Well, it's still not officially announced to be a triple threat, but we all know it was already going there, and I feel like the match really did nothing at that point of what they could have just had a promo and decided they wanted to face each other all three anyways. I think Bianca looked great though. She was stacked, like especially that referee outfit, like the way.
They said she made it herself too.
Yeah, she does all her stuff. Yeah, it's impressive. But the match wasn't that great. I thought it was kind of lackluster. I'm not going to say it was bad, but and just how it ended, I thought it was kind of flat and just being both double DQ'd. Like, I see why she got booed because of that, but I think that's kind of the point going forward of what they kind of wanted. And even Rhea coming out too, she kind of wasn't that fan friendly either. She gave a few high fives, so she's kind of like playing in between that face and heel thing. And then Bianca too, like I don't really know where she stands. Obviously Iyo Sky is the face more than the two of them going into the match, right? But does she stand a chance? I don't know.
Because there's got to be a heel in this, but I just don't. I'm not feeling it, man. I wish it would have just stayed Rhea Bianca. I think that would have been great.
I agree. That's what I kind of like. I've been preaching a lot of good Iyo stuff going into this. How I felt about her, and I think she's been great. You know, especially in the ring and stuff like that. But after this, I do wish it was just Bianca and Rhea at WrestleMania for the title. I feel like it would have been a lot better. Io's like, kind of that wild card that's going to bring the high flying stuff into it also, I think, and the athleticism in a different type of way. But, man.
Triple threats.
Yeah.
So that was SmackDown and Raw. Let us know what you think, and let us know if you think that our opinions are wrong, because we will tell you are wrong and ours are right. So, yeah, it was, we're getting there. The match card is kind of figuring itself out. We're going to get Logan Paul and AJ Styles, obviously, at WrestleMania. All the title matches, the main title matches are figured out. I'm we're going to get Damien Priest and Drew McIntyre, of course. I'm excited for it. You had mentioned, we had NXT.
Last night. It was crazy. Interesting. We got the that new group,
the Dark State,
and we had Tony D'Angelo and the family. They were kind of giving him a breakdown, and the family was giving Tony D'Angelo a debrief of the Dark State and all their members and what they've been through and what they've done. And it's interesting going forward. It seems like it's kind of setting up a faction versus faction type of thing with the Donna NXT, Tony D'Angelo and the family versus the Dark State. Maybe we'll see, or it's something for them to do at this point. So that's interesting. And then Stephanie Vicor relinquished the women's North American title, which is setting up qualifying matches going forward to which is going to be a ladder match at Stand and Deliver for WrestleMania weekend on that Saturday, which is going to be a good ladder match, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Good things. I like what NXT is doing. Yeah.
So it's cool. I'm having fun with it. But man, that's what a hell of a main event that's going to be between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Freaky Rollins. What a main event. Main event caliber. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with the favor. I'm so intrigued. I'm so interested. I can't wait. Yes, I can't wait for the prediction episode. Yeah, it's crazy. Like we were saying, we were talking about the T-shirts. We're going to get some Ringside Renaissance T-shirts made here very soon. So stay tuned. Stay in touch on the social medias. Let us know what you think. If you want some, we might be able to make something happen. I mean, I know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy. You never know.
That's got a printing press. Yeah.
Printing press. Yeah.
Shout out. I was going to say about the Dark State, we don't agree with what their antics or anything, but our man Osiris is part of the Dark State. So we do have to praise him, but nobody else. But other than that, man, thank you for everybody that follows us, hitting the turnbuckle. Sam's on Wrestling, Kick Ash. You guys already know what it's about. My brother, King Tyson is amazing.
Yeah. Talking trash. AJ Galante, Trashers. You already know.
The Wrestling Junkies podcast. Yeah. All you guys, thank you so much for the support and continued support. And it's being a fun ride.
Yeah. We appreciate everybody on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on X. Everybody. Shout out to everybody that follows us and supports us. We appreciate it. We're getting close to WrestleMania. We'll have our prediction episode coming soon. And, of course, our year anniversary of the Ringside Renaissance. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Yeah.
It takes two, baby.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Baby.
Big things. More to come. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be crazy. WrestleMania season is here, and we're hyped. We're ready to go. Check back soon. We'll be doing some special episodes. Check on the lives. We'll be doing that, too, with all the collaborations with everybody else that shows love. We love it. We're looking to do some more stuff. It's going to be crazy. WrestleMania. Raw's coming up. SmackDown's coming up right before that. We'll be back this next week to talk about everything that happened. Raw, I believe, or no, SmackDown is going to be live in Chicago, Illinois. So that means the Illinois with the Second City Saint, CM Punk, must make a appearance. I would hope so.
I would hope so too, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. Again, that's the best co-host, the best tag team partner in the world, Pretty Deadly Jesse. A.K.A. Justradamus. And I'm Andrew. Kombat Jones. And you've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.